The statistics says that about 200 million people in India require therapy, require mental health help.
What is it that creates that vicious circle that they can't get out of?
Is that fear?
Yes. Your life that you know of disrupts.
What is one of the biggest misconceptions about past life?
Why do some people struggle to say no?
How long are you going to blame your childhood or your parents that you did not teach me this?
Most of us were taught how to succeed professionally in school, in our social lives, but very rarely were we taught how to understand ourselves emotionally and how important that is.
Some of the strongest people that look strong on the outside are hurting the most on the inside.
I think today is when we can speak about how your EQ also is as important as your IQ.
We all have certain things, certain patterns in our life that don't seem to leave us. Today on the healing table, we're going to explore why that happens.
Joining us, we have Leena Prabhoo, who's the Amazon #1 best-selling author. She's a counselor. She's been helping people do a lot of inner work. And what makes this beautiful is that her journey to get here is also very beautiful, and we're excited to speak to her.
Firstly, I want to welcome you on the healing table. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And through our research, we found out that you've had quite a journey of your own. Tell us a little bit about it. Maybe someone will gather some strength, courage from it.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Nitika and Asma, for inviting me over here on this beautiful table. And yes, my journey, I would start when in my adolescent years. I was a full-blown empath. So my emotions, my mental capacity, everything was growing itself.
Correct.
So it was chaotic at that age, but I knew I could understand people's emotions. So then I went on to do psychology because it works a lot with people's emotions. And I went to America to do my master's in counseling, school counseling. Over there was a time when I didn't have any friends, I didn't have any family, I didn't have any money, I didn't have any job. And that was the time I had to live in a fire escape.
Oh, wow.
So the journey starts from there, trying to figure things out. Then I came back to India in 91 and I started my own practice in counseling, school counseling. I used to engage with young children, adolescent children. And soon I realized that more than children, it's the parents who need the counseling. And that's when I started my own research to find out what are the operating systems of life. And that research went on for about 10-15 years. And then I formed a system, a 7-step program, which I felt that would help my clients or people in general, like 17 above, to deal with the issues in their life. And then I got invited by corporates and individuals and groups and universities to conduct this program for them. Since 2004, I was conducting this program for them. And then I decided to now do a PhD on my methodology. During my PhD research, I documented the research and got the numbers that percentage-wise, they are improving so much.
Like facts, figures,
Yes,
all of that.
scientifically, I have proved that this methodology works.
Okay.
And now I'm in the process, like alone I would reach, say, about 20, 30,000, 40,000 in my lifetime, people. But the statistics says that about 200 million people in India require therapy, require mental health help.
And growing.
And growing, and worldwide it's about 1 billion people who are known to require this help. Now imagine people know about this, but there are like millions who don't know what they're going through.
Correct.
And they should seek help. They don't know anything. So there's a vast number of people who are not getting this help.
Absolutely.
So now I'm going to start training other psychologists, mental health professionals with this methodology so that it can go far and wide.
Going back to that fire escape, what were your thoughts at that point? Were you low? Were you not low because of the physical environment you were in, because your mental environment was good? Where were you at in your life at that point?
So at that point, I was not at all in an awareness kind of a stage, what I am right now. So, as any other person, any other youngster would be going through their life with these traumas and tragedies in their lives, I was also in that free flow. So I didn't have that kind of an acumen or the language or the expertise or the maturity to find out what is happening to me or to bring myself emotionally and mentally out of this stage.
Fair.
So I went
Deep
rock
down.
bottom. I went rock bottom. I went through all that, and then but this survival instinct is there.
Correct.
And when you go rock bottom, then the survival instinct kicks
in.
up.
Yeah.
And that's what helped me come out of it. And then there have been so many other later on in life also, these tragedies and traumas keep on happening.
Yeah.
But then once the research which I did, it gave me some kind of clues on how to tackle these situations in our lives. I started using them in my life, plus for my clients' lives. And then the transformations started happening and some clear picture started emerging. That if you do this in this manner, if you handle a breakup, suppose you handle a breakup in this manner, then your pain, your tragedy will not be that much. They are allowing their entire life to be defined by this
Absolutely.
small incident. I would say small incident because
In the large scheme of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at that age, you do feel
Absolutely.
that you've
Yeah,
lost everything.
it's real when it's happening to them, even
It's
at that
real.
age. Yeah.
It's real, but the thing to understand is that you can get out of it by learning through that experience and then making yourself more richer and more emotionally and mentally stronger. Because life is the best teacher. Life is the best teacher.
Yeah.
And after that, I would say therapist. But therapy, not in the conventional sense which I have experienced. Unfortunately, the therapies that are taught with due respect, I mean, they have been bringing transformations. They're all Western based. So the first workshop I did, I had one client, I remember this is more than 20 years ago. And he was coming from a company, and he said that there are many people, there are many such courses that our company requires us to do, but yours stands out because it has spirituality in it. And it stuck with me.
That's the angle that a lot of people like. You could be the most well-read, the most educated of people, but when it comes to therapy, somewhere they still have that little, no, I don't need it, I'll manage it on my own. But the minute you attach a spiritual angle, I think it just makes it a little more holistic in our Indian mindset.
Yeah, but that's also now, I feel. I think some years back, even that was not understood properly, because I think a lot of people still have a confusion between spirituality and religion.
I'm talking about now. I feel like the minute you add spirituality to therapy, it kind of softens it. It becomes more about going inwards and looking for your own answers.
Everybody around the world knows about Indian spirituality, but we ourselves are neglecting it. And the second thing, I would give you a different angle with what you said, that if you put spirituality in your face,
Nobody wants
No
it.
one wants it, yeah.
and there's no way also to put it directly in your face, like do your mantra chanting, do your yoga and all. It doesn't.
It becomes a chore.
It becomes a chore. It doesn't sit well with a lot of people.
Correct.
So I work with the mind, the emotions, and then the foundation is the spirituality. And the beautiful part is it doesn't address religion in any way. So this methodology can be taken all over the world.
Wow.
Okay.
And it can be customized to the requirements,
Belief
systems of wherever it's been conducted. The question starts with, where do you go inside?
Is it the mind? Is it the brain?
Yes.
What is it?
Where do you go inside? So we are like, I would give you an analogy that we are all pearls. We are all pearls, but we are in that oyster shell.
Yeah.
And the shell, you must have seen, it's all hard, crusted with dirt. So you have to remove that layer by
cleaning
layer,
it off.
layer by layer, gently open up the oyster, and then inside you will find your pearl. So when I wrote my paths to Pradnya, Pradnya means enlightenment of the self and the soul.
Okay.
I was still from the psychological perspective. And that time, I didn't know that there are so many aspects. The Om chant connects you with the universe. So if you chant Om with that kind of an awareness, then you are directly connected with the source.
Leena ji, what is the one thing you think that struggle, failure, all these low moments in our life? I'm asking about you personally. What is it the one thing that it taught you that you don't think that success ever would have been able to teach you?
You can't say that one thing. It is a journey, it's a process, and it's up to you how you take these setbacks, these failures. It is up to you, because I have clients who are they come across one setback and their life is done. How will I live ahead and how will I go forward, and
They're stuck in it. Yeah.
stuck in it forever. And after 10 years also, when I meet them, they're still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While as the other people, or you're asking about me, I said one setback happened, 2-3 setbacks happened, fine, now I have to get out of this.
Yeah.
So it's your inner resilience.
Sometimes like I know what my patterns are and I'm aware that if I do this, I can get out of it. But when a situation comes up, I will still go back to the same pattern. Why do you think people are stuck in that loop?
People are very happy remaining in their comfort zone. And they will keep on repeating the same stories again and again.
Correct.
If you want to break your pattern, it is a very tough journey. It is not easy, because you're in your comfort zone and you don't want to get out of it.
Is that fear?
Yes.
It's resistance to.
Fear to enter into the unknown.
Yeah.
If you overcome that fear, the unknown is so beautiful. It is so liberating. It is like, why was I stuck for so long over there?
Yeah. I see people around me and I see them going through maybe they are like 50 years old, 60 years old, have had very tough lives. But somewhere I feel like they have a very victim mentality. Is that also something that you work on in this new methodology? What is it that creates that vicious circle that they can't get out of?
So it's not that they can't get out of it. They can, but they don't want to.
Acha.
Because at some point it is helping them, nurturing their inner self.
Correct.
Unfortunately, it is, so they've built in a toxic manner. Their entire framework is toxic for themselves, but they don't realize that the more you become a victim, or you epitomize a victim mentality, your health, your mental health, your physical health is absolutely destroyed. So I know a lot of people who are stuck in this victim mentality, and their health is deteriorated so badly.
Oh, really?
Absolutely, they have all kinds of ailments.
Because your thoughts are constantly negative, constantly down in the dumps, so that's where you'll go.
Yes, because our cells, they store this negativity.
Yeah.
Whatever you give it, they store it.
Correct.
So if you give them negativity, they'll store it. And if you give them our cells positivity, they will store that. 20 years ago, I met an astrologer from America. So that time I asked her, why am I going through so much pain? So she said, to make you stronger. And then I was like, what am I going to do with all this strength?
Correct.
Yeah.
Where am I going to put it to use? So she didn't have an answer to that. But now, after doing my own research and going through my own practices, so why are we born? We are not born here to earn more money, to procreate,
Correct.
to make houses, and to get into the you, me kind of a tiff and tat, no jealousy, all these things. We haven't come here to do that. We have come here to fulfill our karma with another person, whatever our karmic debts are with other people. We have signed a soul contract with them in our spirit form. And both of you have agreed that, okay, we will do this when we are born to help you resolve the conflict.
You mean to say that if I, like for my parents, for example, I have a soul contract with my parents and there's some unfinished karma that we had in our past lives that we have to finish here?
Yes.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't have good relationships with their parents. Then they come into relationship with other people who are constantly kind of putting them down or ridiculing them, things like that. So these are the people with whom you have signed your soul contract. They are here to highlight your weakness, Now, the idea is to work on it, but to resolve that situation amicably. That you do not create any further karmic debts either with that person or anybody else.
I think what we spoke about young people with breakups, when it feels that heavy, divorces, all of those things feel like soul contracts being completed.
Yes, absolutely. These are soul contracts being completed, and unfortunately, so I mentioned some statistics earlier. Now, 100,000 people in India die by suicide every year
Oh God.
for whatever reason, and a lot of it is the younger age,
Yeah.
17 to 25. So they are going through all this trauma in their life, and the unfortunate part is there is nobody there to talk to them or coach them or tell them that this is just a part of life.
Correct.
There's so much more to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think that also has to be passed down from your parents. Like at the age of 17, I would want my parents to come and guide me and tell me that there's a lot more to life than this. And I think kids a lot of time also don't go up sharing.
I wouldn't blame the children because they don't know any better.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't blame only the parents also. I wouldn't put a blame or anyone.
Correct.
I would just say the older generation who have been before us in this life, they should have told us all these things, equipped us with all these techniques and methodologies, but they themselves have not worked on themselves.
Yeah.
So how will they pass it
So
on
it's
to the
a
younger
loop,
generation?
Right? Yeah, it's a loop.
And this is not happening with just our parents and the previous generation. This is happening since thousands of years.
Yeah. The women especially have a pattern of denial when a situation arises, and then of course it's settled down a little bit in the next generation, but it still prevails. Like it's still there, and I see a little bit of it even now. So I think I agree to what you're saying, that it's a loop and it follows.
Talking about women is a whole different
Story in
thing,
itself, yeah.
different story. 99 to 100% of women who come to me having conflicts in their relationships, in their marriages, they are all going through a lot of trauma in their relationship with their spouses. Men are also, but men are groomed in a different way.
Their
The
DNA,
default
their
is-
whole
yeah.
built is different. They don't.
And even the parents, the mothers, they're also grooming their sons.
Okay, the upbringing
The
of boys is
upbringing,
different,
yes.
you mean.
And it is so subtle, it is so ingrained within us. You look at our rituals also, they are all patriarchy based.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
And for a woman to even understand that these are patriarchy based takes a lifetime. Or she may not even understand that this is meant to subdue you.
Yeah.
Correct.
But a lot of women are evolving and they are speaking up, but that is because our mothers have now started teaching their daughters to speak up, to be bold, to be financially independent. These same mothers have not equipped their sons
Boys, yeah.
to deal with such women.
No.
So there is a huge gap.
I often have this conversation with friends who have boys, that it actually rests on our shoulders to kind of make sure that our sons are not repeating the mistakes or we are not repeating the mistakes that the older generation did. So we as mothers, young mothers, have to be very careful when we're raising boys. It completely rests on women to bring women up. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
What is wrong with us women, that why are we not coming out of it?
We feel a little too much, I feel. Like women feel more. Their EQ is a little more higher than men, is what I feel, in our default.
But what do you do with it?
Suffer.
Suffer? Why should you suffer?
Yeah.
You create a system where you need not suffer, but we need the men also. But there has to be a balance. There has to be respect to each other. There has to be a dignified relationship with each other. And that needs to be taught, literally taught.
Yeah.
To our children, boys and girls. There's this beautiful song which was in our Hindi movies. हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मन
Yeah.
विजय करे, दूसरों को
जैसे
जैसे पहले खुद की जय करे.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it was
Absolutely.
Yeah.
work on yourself first, and only then can you give to somebody else.
How do we make sure that we are the most nurturing, loving mothers, but we're not raising emotionally dependent adults?
The first step would be that if her son falls down, and fine, you have fallen down, you allow the child to cry, get over it, and then hold the child. If there is some situation happening in the school or in anywhere, you watch, be there behind the son. That, okay, I'll give the confidence to the son that you are there.
The support.
Just the knowledge should be enough. You don't have to be physically there. So you can tell now, okay, what will you do? How will you handle it? Ask the son the questions. How will you handle this? So slowly you start kind of easing back, and you start giving confidence to the son, or it could be the daughter also, to handle situations on their own. And then when they come and tell you that, I did it this way, you don't have to reprimand them. Why did you do it this way? This was not the right way to do it. You understand, allow them to talk, that because they understood it in their way, in their capacity, how to handle that situation.
Correct.
Allow them to express it, and then later on kind of have a discussion that what are the other possible ways that you could have handled it.
Correct. Leena ji, more than ever, this is somehow a time that I feel most people around me are either going through depression, and I don't say this lightly, anxiety, fears of different kinds, just a loop of feeling good and then feeling down and then feeling good again. And most of them are leading relatively average, normal lives. No major traumas are happening, but still there's a sense of internal restlessness. Why do you think it's gone up so much in the recent past?
What are they doing with this restlessness? They're just letting it happen.
Correct.
They are not seeking any assistance, any help. Like you were mentioning that, going to a therapist, it is considered as a taboo.
Correct. Or you can't manage your life.
The methodology which I was talking to you about, which I have developed, the beauty of it is you don't need to go to a therapist, you don't need to go to a counselor as such, where you would be labeled. If you're telling the youngsters that, or even adults are going through breakups, so that is just this thing. Or there's jobs, you don't get jobs, or you don't get into an education system where you wanted to go, then it's all, my life is over and I can't be what I want to be. Those kind of things. So everything is dramatized.
Leena ji, today's generation, a lot of people are also very tired. Now they haven't even hit the hard part of life yet, but just before that they're seeming sapped. Why is it happening? And one good piece of advice for all these kids out there that they need to take really seriously.
So apart from all that we spoke just now, leading to this point, that all is relevant. Plus, I would like to mention about the nutrition, the food that people are eating. Okay, it is not at all a sattvic ahar.
Diet,
It is everything, chips and burgers and pastas and pizzas are loaded onto their plates. And even if you go further back, how are these grains manufactured? They are all GI injected. They are all modified.
GMOs,
They are all pesticide and injected in them and sprayed around in them. So we are having contaminated food to begin with. And then the processing happens. So all the nutrient value now, extra virgin olive oil. Just take that as an example. Extra virgin olive oil means extra cleansed, extra processed, extra cleaned. What does that mean?
All of it, all the nutrients of it
are gone.
Out.
All the nutrients are gone, extracted and removed. And then it's projected as this is the olive oil that you need. Best thing to have.
Correct.
So a lot of people are coming into awareness now, and they're incorporating wood pressed oil in their food. So which has a lot of the nutrient value still in them. And whatever you eat, it nourishes your body and your mental health, your emotional health, your vitamins and minerals. Now through your medium, I want to share one thing, and I hope it goes global, that depression and mental health issues are bigger than pandemic. Bigger than pandemic, and nobody wants to address those issues. And depression and suicide comes to deficiency, as per the research which I have done on more than 20 years.
Yeah.
Deficiency in vitamin B12 and D3.
Oh my
Oh.
god. And it's so easily solvable.
It costs less than 10 rupees per
Yeah.
tablet.
Absolutely, yeah.
Even the doctors don't know that deficiency in these two vitamins leads to mental health issues.
Wow.
Yeah.
So even if, like B12 you get from eating non-vegetarian food. But I've had so many cases where non-vegetarian, means hardcore non-vegetarian people have deficiency in B12.
Yeah.
I have had so many clients who are athletes, like you get D3 from
Yeah,
sunlight,
yeah.
who are athletes, who are out in the sun from morning till
Yeah.
dusk, and they are deficit in D3.
So your mind is a function of what you eat, how you nourish your body, and so on and so forth. Great. I think Asma had the next question.
Every time there's a day off, there's a lot of shame to rest days. Like when you're on your holiday or you have a rest day, you still feel that you don't deserve that rest day. Why do you think that shame is there now?
It's because they are in the rat race. They want to achieve XYZ things, and they feel that if they are resting today, somebody else is taking over. Rest is supposed to be like, you detach yourself from everything and you do things. What people, now you're talking about youngsters, even those who have retired, they don't know what to do with their lives.
Yeah.
Accept it, you deserve it, and demand it or work for it. Consciously work for it. And how do you consciously work for it? Is that just let go. Mentally let go. Don't plan anything. Don't work on anything. Just don't do anything. Just be.
Yeah.
Just be.
But it is so difficult at this.
It is very difficult to just be. You need time for that, okay? To detach yourself. Unless you've like mastered how to detach, which takes time. So when you have to detach or take a holiday and you have to go back to work, the time span in between that is very less. So even to ungroup, regroup, it takes time. The body needs the processing. Body needs to process things.
What is interesting to me through this conversation and whatever I know about your method is that it doesn't have to be a traumatic event to have to work on yourself. It could be everyday life things that you need to resolve or you feel you need to work on. It could be just that. And I think this method that you've developed is something that can help each and every individual.
Yes.
I would like you to tell our audience a little bit about what the framework and how
how
this
they can
method is
benefit
gonna
from
work.
it. Yeah.
To arrive at this method itself, it's taken a literal research of 10 to 15 years. And then putting it across to participants from all walks of life. Right from 17, I've had clients till they're 65. You just have to say, now I want to work on myself. It could be any age. You could be in any stage in your life, doing whatever in your life. Okay? I was so overwhelmed by the response of the participants. Like I was working with 200 undergraduate students at some point. And so after every breakthrough that they got, they would just stand up and start clapping. And then at the end of, like, it's a 30-hour program, and then I do 3 more months hand holding. So after the offline program, so I was walking out, saying my goodbyes, and all of them, 200 of them, just stood up and they were like clapping. And I was like, oh my God,
So if anyone has to have access to this, how long do they have to wait? When are you going to be able to share this with the world?
So right now I'm in the process of converting this whole program into train the trainer model.
Okay.
So I will work with therapists, counselors, psychologists. If psychiatrists want to come, they are also welcome. And this is a group session. So all these therapies, other therapies are one-on-one. I handle groups.
Okay.
Oh.
And I handle it better.
Okay.
And the transformations are much more evolved or much more scaled than in one-on-one.
But people are comfortable doing it in a group setting?
Yes. The beauty of it is that if all of you all are doing it, doing the program, okay. So I've structured it in a manner that even your deepest issues that you are dealing with right now, you don't have to tell me, you don't have to tell any other participant,
Oh.
but you are working on it yourself. So it remains with you. So the fear of somebody will judge you or you will feel ashamed to express it is not there.
But this requires qualification. A normal individual can't learn the course.
I wish that could have been the case, but we are working with minds of people.
So
We
you
are
need-
working with beings. We are working with souls of people. So to each individual is very cherished. For me, is a very cherished soul because one wrong thing can scar you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So I will be taking those who are already in this profession.
Got it. And this is a process, is a mix of spirituality and science.
Yes, absolutely. So this program is by an Indian and has our Indian spirituality and Indian culture and Indian understanding of how the
Mind, body, soul.
So it works a little more deeper.
Yeah. So this is the only therapy which is developed in India.
So, ma'am, I want to ask you, how much of our adult behavior comes in from our experiences that we've had that are unresolved? From our childhood or from our teenagers? Does that affect how our behavior is now?
Absolutely. So whatever you're doing right now has been decided or developed or colored in your younger days. So we talk a lot about your childhood trauma. Childhood trauma, the child goes through some trauma and is not able to resolve it. So whatever the child's understanding comes from that trauma, that carries forward. Or even if they see, if they see their father is beating up the mother and the mother is not resisting the beating, so the male child automatically learns that this is the way to quiet the woman, and the girl child learns that this is the way to be submissive.
Yeah.
So he and she, the son and the daughter, they carry this entire understanding throughout their lives. So the family or the younger days are the most evolving or developmental days in a child's life. So that has to be done very carefully and with a lot of awareness and with a lot of knowledge. So parents have a lot of responsibility towards their children.
Leena ji, also, I feel like a lot of people, after they go through certain big events in life, they are stuck in a flight or fright situation. And their bodies remain in that flight or fright for a very long time, even after the danger is gone, even after the situation is resolved, or whatever trauma has had to happen has happened. What is your advice to people? What are the small steps they can take to kind of slowly bring themselves out of that phase of life?
That pattern, because
Yeah.
it's so engraved in you as a child that you get into that survival mode.
How long are you going to blame your childhood or your parents that you did not teach me this, that is why I'm like this? Hello, you've grown up and you've got your own mind and you've got your own emotions and you've got your resources.
Absolutely.
Everywhere around the world there are people who are there to help you or whom you can go and talk to or you can seek help. Who is stopping you from going and seeking that help? See, you are not born a complete person. You don't know everything. First of all, accept that. That you don't know everything and you need to know everything, whatever you're going through. And then once you know that, you seek help. See, at the end of the day, it is you who is suffering and it is you who has to resolve whatever your suffering is. Nobody will come and say
No one
that,
will
okay,
say
I'm
that.
going to help you, because other people don't know.
They're also struggling themselves, yeah.
First of all, understand and accept what a fight and flight mode is. You know, that you are all the time on the go, you are all the time getting hyper, you are all the time, taking offense with small things.
Yeah.
You're all the time not in a balanced state.
Correct.
So that is your sign that you are not good enough, or not good enough, I wouldn't say that you need to help yourself.
Correct.
Correct.
this is the point to recognize that you're all the time shouting at other people, you're all the time not happy with yourself. Understand that you're getting some indication to pause and take stock of
Reflect.
what is happening in your life. Once you do that, then the transformation starts
So
happening.
awareness is the first,
the first
part
thing.
of it.
Awareness is the starting. And when the awareness comes in, then you start observing your body.
But you know, there are a lot of people, like I said at the start of our conversation, that even the brightest ones sometimes who are very aware are reluctant to go and take that plunge or change.
So intelligence and happiness does not
It's
go
not
hand in
equi-
hand.
yeah.
Okay, there is more thing. Now we were fed a wrong narrative.
Yeah.
That centuries ago, that if you have a high IQ, you're done. You're set for life. You know, the world is at your feet. But that is not enough. There is so many, your mental quotient, your emotional quotient, your social quotient, your how you communicate with each other, your communication skills,
Yeah.
how you set up your boundaries. There are so many things that are involved in it. And unfortunately, those who are very intelligent, they are not equipped to handle their life properly. So in fact, they suffer more because they are not willing to accept
That
and
they
admit
could need help about
that
something.
they could need help. So the first step comes into awareness, then observing your body, then observing when you fly off the lid, when you start, fighting with other people. Then try to analyze why you're fighting with those people. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and then basically your inner voice. Your inner voice is the guiding force, the propelling force, which is telling you that you need to go right, telling you to go in the right direction, but it is a very tough path. It is a very tough path, but if you take that path, you will be aligning yourself with the natural flow of your life. Each one of us has an individual formula of life.
Yeah.
If you discover your particular formula of life and align your thoughts, actions, and emotions along with this FOL, then you will align yourself with the natural flow of your life.
So I think what you meant was also a lot of times we're very self-aware,
Yeah.
but we don't
act on it. Yeah.
But I think that's just like, it's like saying I'm very intelligent, but I do stupid things in my life.
Correct. Like what
So-
she said, right? Like even with self-awareness, a lot of times we get comfortable in that
And what are
feeling.
you going to do with that self-awareness unless
Yeah.
you're going to do something about
Yeah.
it? There's no point.
There's no point.
Yeah. Also, before we get into the next set of questions, we had spoken about empathy in the beginning. And I often see that people that are spiritually
Inclined,
deeper,
yeah.
who think harder about life, are the ones carrying the baggage of life. I feel the people that don't have these deep conversations, that are very floating through life, very happy, very bindas, they often don't talk about the deep things of life. And I've sometimes wondered that maybe they are more spiritually ahead because
Attuned, yeah.
because they are not having these struggles. Where do you see these two types of people sit?
Yes. So I did have an internal conversation long time ago when I was the full-blown empath, and I would look at other people's lives and they are just floating through it.
Yeah.
They're not going through any ups and downs in their lives, and they don't have to kind of make an effort to make things work.
Correct.
So after the whole process, the whole journey of studying all these things, it is their karmic debt, which they are benefiting, reaping the benefits right now, but they are not aware. So they are utilizing their karmic debt in this lifetime. They may or may not be enriching it again, putting back into the bucket. But they are just going with the flow. But you need to put things back into the
in.
bucket also, so that your next life also remains or is more enriched.
Correct.
And those who are empaths, suffering a lot like crazy, and so they are the ones who are very sensitive. They feel like there was a point when I could hear the pain of a sapling being ripped off from the ground.
My God.
And even now, when I'm communicating with animals, and I can hear their cries, I can hear their whatever they're going through, but I can't do anything about it. So you have to go through a process of your own dealing with your own empathy. Putting up your boundaries is very essential. You should, if you work on yourself, then you will be able to, protect yourself. There's a protection that is required for empaths.
Correct.
And understand this is a journey that you have come to, you have asked for it, and you're going through this so that you can help others. Once you have resolved your conflict or whatever it is that you're going through, then you can help others deal with theirs.
Okay.
What is one of the biggest misconceptions about past life regression therapy?
That you will get stuck over there,
Ah,
that you will never come back.
okay.
So that depends on the therapist.
Because I've heard of people having like open wounds because they've seen what happened in their past, so then they marinate in that thought, and that gives them even more stress and trauma. So it's
So this
it's
is
not
where
advised.
a really good therapist comes into play,
Yeah.
and how it can be different for different experiences.
And this is
different
for
people.
everyone. Everyone can do this.
Whoever is going through any chronic issue in their life, they have to come to the PLR therapist. But it is not open to children, young children. But the father can help undergo this process to help their child.
There's this segment that we do. It's called At the Table, a practice that we do. I know you practice spirituality and science, but if you had to do one ritual right now with us, okay, for us and for the crew, that people watching this could also do while they're watching, what would that be?
I would say do a grounding exercise.
Could we do that now?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
there
I
something
can-
that we could do quickly?
So let me first explain
Yeah.
to you what is a grounding exercise. So this is when you're feeling that all hell has broken loose in your life. Whatever you're trying to do is not working out. Your thoughts are scattered, your emotions are scattered, and you are at the breaking point. You don't know which decision to take. You don't know which direction to go in. You're absolutely clueless. That means you are ungrounded. So sit in a comfortable posture. Keep both your feet on the ground. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply and exhale. Calm down. Cool down. Relax. Allow your thoughts and emotions to flow out of you. Relax your body. Relax. Feel your spine straight from top to the bottom of your vertebral column. Just run your inner vision. Just look at it, sense it, feel it, that it is there. Inhale and exhale. You feel yourself calming down, relaxing, relax, relax. Relax, relax. Now, at the top of your head, in the center of your head, imagine a small drop of energy is falling into the top of your head, and it's slowly flowing down your vertebral column, connecting with your spinal cord. And this energy drop is flowing down, come to the neck, and flowing down in your spinal cord and slowly going down. And you are sensing and feeling this drop of energy flowing down and down and down, and it has come to your last vertebra, to your tailbone, to the end of your spinal cord. And now allow this drop to go down, further down, through wherever you're sitting, down into Mother Earth. And you sense or visualize this drop of energy going straight down into Mother Earth. And once this energy connects with the Mother Earth, it spreads out into the Mother Earth like roots, and it is forming a strong hold onto Mother Earth. It is anchoring itself, and as it anchors you, your energy and your grounding, everything gets anchored into Mother Earth, and you feel yourself stabilizing, stabilizing, stabilizing. You feel yourself balanced. You're feeling yourself balanced, and everything has fallen into place, aligned with your spinal cord. And once you have felt this strong grounding, thank Mother Earth for helping you ground yourself. Listen to what Mother Earth is saying to you, some message coming up. And you're feeling the strength and the blessings of Mother Earth collecting and coming back into your body, into your spinal cord. And this energy is going back all over you and enriching you and feeling complete and well grounded. And you're feeling at peace. Allow this energy to go in every part of your body, from tip to toe. You can sense or visualize or feel this energy going to every part of your body. And once this process has completed, thank the Mother Earth, thank the energy. Take a deep breath and exhale, and slowly open your eyes.
It's really good.
It was so good.
It's really good.
I think we all
need
needed
to
it.
Add this in our Monday morning.
I want to transition to the other segment, which is called the list, for someone who does not have the time to listen to the whole thing and wants to basically understand what we spoke about. These are going to be quick questions, and you could give me quick answers to it. You want to start with it?
Yeah, one sign for every individual when they're hearing this, for them to know that they're emotionally stuck in a pattern.
Just close their eyes and just try to listen or to understand where they are. What is happening to them? So you're not just emotionally stuck. You're stuck means you're stuck in all senses, mentally, emotionally, physically also. You're stuck. So when you're in that state, then you realize that your body, your mind, your senses are telling you something, and listen to that message.
Okay.
One habit that improves clarity or awareness.
To come into awareness is to just pause before you do anything. Just pause and ask yourself, am I doing it the right way, or is this how I'm supposed to be doing it? Just pause.
Intuition or impulse? How to know the difference?
So intuition comes from very deep within you. Intuitively I feel that I should not go here, or I should not do such a thing. So that is your intuition, that is your inner voice. Okay? And impulse is that if a situation happens, you just react to it without thinking or pausing. You just react. And then probably you get to know what the consequences are of your
Later.
action.
Correct.
Yeah.
Why do some people struggle to say no?
Because they don't have a strong self-esteem. They have not worked on themselves. They feel they are less. So if I tell you, no, I can't do this, that means I'm not capable of doing it. I am ashamed of myself. So all this internal dialogue is happening, and they don't know how to say no. They have not been taught. So you don't have to say no. There are ways to articulate it. So their communication skills are also not good.
Got it.
One sign in your life that your internal healing has begun.
Everything, your life that you know of, disrupts,
Oh.
breaks up, goes for a toss. You don't know what, there's absolute chaos in your life. So that is the point when whatever you were doing earlier is not working for you, is not helping you go forward. So the universe breaks you down, literally takes the hammer and breaks you down.
Yeah.
You have to go through that process because every layer of it is broken up.
Yeah.
So don't get afraid. Don't try to stop it. Allow it to happen. And it's a journey which takes years. It takes years to happen. And once you become into awareness that you are being reworked on, then start looking at ways at what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, what do you want to keep, what do you want to eliminate. You go through that entire process, and then whatever your weaknesses are, you work towards converting them
And
into
how
your
do I know
strengths.
that it's working? Like, is there a step that I know, okay, I'm in the right direction? Because there are multiple things that we all try, right?
You have to try multiple things because there are many avenues to it, and then you have to implement them in your life, and then at some point you realize that this is what is working for me, this is not working for me. So it's through trial and error. You're
So I think
knocking
you
on
get
every
a-
door.
Get an objective view of your life. You're able to kind of, that is what you're saying, that then you'll know that you've begun the healing. Is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
What is that one thing that emotionally strong people do differently?
They don't react, they respond to any situation. An emotionally weak person, if you start abusing me now, then I will react by abusing you again, back at you. An emotionally strong person will probably just allow you to vent because that is what you require. Understand what you're going through, be compassionate, be empathetic, and know that what you're abusing is not for me. It is for you. You are in a bad state. I'm not in a bad state.
If someone wants to try starting their healing journey today, right? What are the tools that you could tell them to use? What could they do now, starting today, that would help them? Like next week could be better for them because they've done this for the week.
If there is any particular situation that they are going through and they're trying to figure things out and how to resolving it, first you start journaling. First start writing whatever the scenario is, whatever is happening in your life, you start writing it. And once you start writing it and put it in black and white, there is a lot of clarity that will come to them.
What is that one thing that you definitely want people to learn from our conversation today?
Try to understand what are the operating systems of your life, understand what is your formula of life, and try to align your formula of life with your own thoughts, actions and beliefs, and that will help you move in the direction that your life has to go in. So this is the entire process. I've put it in 3 sentences. It is a journey, but be prepared for it because it's a beautiful journey of self-discovery. And forget about trying to figure out what other people are doing in their lives. Understand your gifts that you are born with. Try to bring them out, try to access them, bring it out from within yourself.
Yeah.
This is what you owe to yourself.
That's lovely.
Yeah, I think I
think
take a
that's
lot.
lovely.
I'll take back a lot from this conversation today and try to practice that in my own life. And
Thank you
so much.
This
Yeah.
was a lovely, lovely conversation we've had. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. As a parting note, I would like to present my book to
Yes,
you.
please.
Yes, please do.